What's going on, everybody? It's Professor Gnome, and today we're going to be continuing our meta breakdown list kind of thing with Lugia V-STAR. We're covering some meta decks. We're on the last 5 days of the ladder, so I just want to make sure everybody has a list they can kind of enjoy and climb with, so I'm going over some of the top decks. So we're going to be looking at Lugia today, and Lugia is really, really good because of its Summoning Star ability, and what it allows you to do is it allows you to take two basic, or not basic, but normal type Pokemon and put them onto your bench from your discard pile. The main target that we're going to be looking for is Archeops, since it has the Prime Turbo or Primal Turbo ability, where once per turn you can search your deck for up to 2 special energy and attach them to one of your Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. This is super broken, and it's locked behind a fossil Pokemon for a reason. It shouldn't really be this easy to actually get out on the board and actually use. It should be locked behind a stage 2 fossil Pokemon that sucks. But with Lugia, you can kind of bypass all that. And what makes this deck so strong is it gives you access to double turbo energy, gives you access to gift energy, jet energy, and more importantly than anything else, it gives you access to legacy energy, since legacy energy is just luminous energy on steroids. It makes you take one less prize card when your Pokemon is knocked out, but it also fulfills the energy requirement of any one color. So this is super huge because it allows you to run a super versatile deck. It allows us to power up Ursaluna very quickly. It allows us to run the Wellspring Mask Ogerpon, since it can fill in for our water energy, allowing us to snipe the bench pretty easily for 120 damage and do 100 to the active, which can come up really well in matchups like Dracopult, since we're able to snipe things out and take double prizes. It also helps into things like Gardevoir and things like that. It's super helpful. We also are able to use Iron Hands EX, since we're able to fill its requirements for energy super quickly, and also again with Legacy Energy being able to fill in that electric type energy requirement, we're able to use Ampy very much. This is super good into mirror matches against other Lugia decks. It's really good at Agardi, Lost Zone, all the different kind of stuff that Iron Hands is already super strong into. It's just even better. And then what makes this deck even stronger is that we have access to Cinccino with the special roll attack, where this attack does 70 damage for each special energy card attached to this Pokemon. With 2 Archeops on the field, we can immediately put 4 on and start attacking for 180 damage. And if you can attach one from hand on the same turn, you're just hitting for insane damage numbers with a single prizer. You can even use your legacy energy if you want onto this, making it so your opponent doesn't take any prize cards when they KO you back. And it's just super powerful. I've seen some people, I know right now there's a Wordier build that people are running. Personally, I still like this build more, and I think Cinccino is just a little bit better, a little bit more consistent, though Wordier can definitely kind of switch in and do huge numbers. I overall think Cinccino is just better, but Wordier's still very new, so maybe it could be better in the future. We'll just have to keep kind of testing it and see how that goes. As for supporters, we're playing a bunch of boss. We're running 3 copies. We want to make sure we're picking our targets. When we have things like Iron Hands, we want to make sure that we're able to boss whatever we want and target it down. Same thing with Wellspring. We want to make sure that we're kind of in control of what's in the active. We also play Jacq, since what it does is it allows us to get 2 evolution Pokemon, reveal them, put them in our hand. Really more that's important for just grabbing our Archeopses, so that way we can discard them later, or if we really need to get into a Cinccino or a Lugia V-STAR, we can grab it all through Jacq. And then we run Carmine, just to make sure that if we are going first, which going first with this deck is kind of nice, the main weakness of Lugia V-STAR and why it's been so helped in the new set is its main weakness is that sometimes it just bricks. Lugia is an extremely high roll deck where when it hits, it is the best deck. In the format, it's unstoppable. When it misses really hard and can lose to just about anything. So its inconsistency problems are what really holds it back from being number 1. But thanks to things like Carmine, where even if we're going first, we can use a supporter, discard a whole bunch of stuff, potentially our Archeopses, draw new cards, get everything going, really help this deck out a lot. The inclusion of Mesagoza, I think that's how you're supposed to say it. This card is crazy powerful, allows you to just kind of coin flip, and if you roll hot, you get everything you need. And like I said, Legacy Energy just made this deck a whole lot better. So that's going to be the general breakdown of the list, guys. Also, like I said, Bloodmoon Ursaluna is so good in this deck because you can power it up even in the early stages of the game super quickly and take big knockouts with its 240, damage number. But also, as the game goes on, it's very easy to just kind of throw down and use its ability and just have it as a general revenge attacker as well. So it's super powerful in this deck. So that's going to be the general overview of the deck list, and definitely let me know what you think of Lugia and where you think it's at in the meta right now. And be sure to let me know what you want to see next on the channel and things like that. We're going to get back to kind of off-meta wacky stuff a little bit on the channel. I just wanted to cover stuff so that way everybody has the opportunity to climb and hit whatever desired rank it is they're looking to get to. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of YouTube stuff. Share the video with somebody who, needs it. And I will see you guys all in Game 1 in a moment, but for final announcements, be sure to join the community Discord. That's down in the description below if you're interested. And then also, we are running a community Discord tournament on the 27th, I think it is, or the 29th. I can't actually remember off the top. Today's the 27th, so it will be the 29th. It's the pretty much what it is. We're just running a community Discord tournament, so it's completely free to enter. All the information is down in the description below, and there are prizes, and like I said, it's completely free to enter. So if you're interested, if you've never done a tournament before and you want to, a great place to start, this is it. If you are super competitive and have played in a ton of events, then obviously you're super welcome to this one as well. But yeah, that's going to be it for all the breakdown stuff, everything like that. I will see you guys in game number 1 in a moment. Peace. Alright, we're into game 1, and our opponent is going first. We mulligan, which is really good for us, because had that been a basic, we would have been very stuck. This is much better. This is really good, actually. So we can open up our Lugia. If we get into Lugia V-STAR, we're absolutely cooking. God, I love this art so much. Not that, get that out of my face. I love this art so much. Pokemon Gale of Darkness was so good. We need more Pokemon games like that. Like, the Shadow Pokemon were so sick. Shout out to Pokemon Gale of Darkness. Can they, put Pokemon... We need, for the Switch, we need, the Virtual Console to have a game, have the GameCube. We're not at any threat of getting KO'd, so we can add Lugia to hand. And then what we'll do is attach the Jet Energy. We'll go ahead and read the Wind to discard one of our Archeopses. Would have loved another way to discard this. Hopefully we can draw into it on our next turn. We could take one more turn if we really had to. Because, right now the Frostlass doesn't really do anything to us. They're playing the Frostlass Vespiquen build. And I'm going to be honest, I don't like it. It's, okay. I think it's really neat. I just think that it's not very good. Because, I get the concept, right? You use Vespiquen. Vespiquen can stack a whole bunch of damage onto the bench, and then with Frostlass you're stacking even more damage, and in theory that's great. In practice it's not. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and place the Gift Energy down onto the Minccino, place the other Minccino, and then I'm not going to evolve. What I'm going to do is read the Wind one more time, since we're up against a really slow deck, so I can just get rid of the other Archeops, and then, cool, I have the Capturing Aroma, I have my Lugia V Stars, I'm pretty much good to go. And that way I can just throw down double Archeops. Okay. And that works out for us. Alright, I don't need all these Lugias. We'll go Capturing Aroma. We get the Tails. which actually... we can't play the Iron Hands down yet, but we'll be able to use it later on. For right now, we can go double Lugia. We'll go Summoning Star. Get ourselves both of the Archeops. And then we could just power up. Yeah, so we'll go... let me think here. We'll go double colorless. And we'll go Gift Energy. Go Gift, double colorless. And then from here, what we can do is go Mist Energy and a Jet Energy. We can throw Jet, and we'll throw the Mist. Yeah. And then we'll throw down the Jamming Tower as well. I don't think there's anything that they really want to do with it. But, like, it doesn't affect us in any way having it down. I don't think there's anything that they actually want, but just gets it out of our hand. We have some extra Mist Energies. We can start throwing those down as well. The extra 10 damage getting spread around doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter that much. Obviously, if we can find a boss and pull it up and KO it, then, like, fantastic. If we don't, we don't. There's a boss's orders. Just another grass energy. Yeah, they bricked kind of hard, but I feel like that's also just, like, gonna happen with their deck. I don't think there's anything that, like, adds real consistency to it, which is kind of one of the biggest issues. We're gonna get rid of Ursaluna, and that we'll grab ourselves the Cinccino. We'll place the Cinccino down. Go Jet Energy. Bring that into the active. And they're going to concede. I love the concept of Vespiquen with Frostlask. I just don't think it's good. But I've been seeing it more, so this could be a deck that I'm wrong about. Maybe it's actually incredible, but I feel like it's very gimmicky, so I don't think it's going to work very often. But when it works, it's probably really cool. But that's going to be a quick game one. We'll do a couple more, and I'll see you guys in game two in a moment. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 2, and we're going to be going first. This is not the hand we would love, but we can make something out of it, potentially. We're up against Raging Bolt, which is not that bad of a matchup overall, since we're able to attack with Cinccino and do the one prizer. Like, we'll be able to trade like one prize for 2 pretty consistently. We do have an Ultra Ball, so we'll be able to potentially set up our plays for future turns. And there's Gift Energy, so we'll go Capturing Aroma here. We get the heads. So for right now, we're just going to stack the Archeopses if we are able. There's the tails, so we can grab ourselves Lugia. God, I love this art so much. I wish this card wasn't so expensive in like IRL. I'd love to own a playset, but there's the other heads, which means we can grab the Archeops, and we'll go Great Ball, grab ourselves the Minccino, place that down, go Ultra Ball, get rid of both of those to grab ourselves the Lugia V-STAR. The main reason why we can do that is, one, we want Archeops out of our hand, but also we know that we're up against Raging Bolt, which means they don't play any form of, like, double turbo or anything like that. Or not double turbo, what am I talking about? Sorry, I was looking at the card. They don't play, like, Iono or anything like that, so we don't really have to worry about threats of that nature, like, kind of coming our way. So, hopefully our Iron Hands doesn't get knocked out here, not because we need it for the future, but because obviously we don't want to give up the prize cards right away. But even if we do, we'll be able to bring in Minccino and go from there. Since our odds of getting into Cinccino are pretty good. And this is also why I prefer Cinccino over the Wordeer. Where, like, Wordeer is really cool in theory, and, like, I can see where it works. But a lot of times, I really don't like it. Also, Gutsy Pickaxe is weird. And the rescue board. This is certainly a list. Like, Trekking Shoe I get. The Gutsy Pickaxe is interesting. Again, like, I get it. But I don't really agree with it. We'll go... We'll throw the DTE down. We'll make Lugia. We'll hold off on Summoning Star for right now. Won't really make a difference if we do it right now or after the Iono. There is Cinccino. We'll go ahead and Summon Star. Or Summoning Star, rather. We can go double Archeops. We'll grab that and the Gift Energy. The main reason why I want to double up on the Gift Energy is so that way I can, if they use like an Enhanced Hammer to knock it off or something, I can still, like, I can still utilize it. And then from here, I don't love giving up to double turbos, but it is what it is. We can use that. Retreat out. Bring in our Cinccino. We can go special roll here for 260. And take 2 prizes. There's the Ultra Ball and the Jet Energy. We're still up on cards, so we actually won't really get benefit from the Gift Energies, but that's not really that big of a deal. Pretty much what the play is going to be is that we can stack energies onto the Lugia, go hit for 220, so we can boss up either one of these Ogerpons, get that knocked out while we set up a new Minccino. I really don't agree with the rescue board. Like, I get the Gutsy Pickaxe is just like Trekking Shoe, but I don't know. I feel like it's like Trekking Shoe's more beneficial. There's the Ancient Booster Capsule. Because here's the problem. It's like Gutsy Pickaxe, if you hit the energy, cool, but you don't really care. Like, throwing it in the discard pile is totally fine. And this only lets you dig, like, to the top card. As where, if it was Gutsy Pickaxe, he already used his Sporter. Like, if he didn't want the Pokegear, he could throw it away, get himself something new. Like, it just gives you more options. As opposed to, you know, the alternative. So we can bring in Lugia here. We can throw this down. If we hit heads here, that'd be sick. Unfortunately, we don't. What we can do is Ultra Ball, get rid of this, and we'll get rid of the double turbo for now. We'll grab ourselves the Minccino. And then from here, we can prime turbo. We'll grab ourselves Gift and a Mist. Slap those onto our active. And we can do that all over again. Where we go Mist, and we'll go Mist and Jet. We'll go Boss's Orders, bring up the Ogerpon with an energy already attached to it. We can go Tempest Dive. We will keep the stadium around because if we can get ourselves into the Cinccino easier, then fantastic. If not, you know, no big deal. We'll grab 2 prize cards. Don't need either of those. So we could be KO'd here. More than likely we will be. But we will have the ability to Carmine. We'll be able to bring in our Minccino. We'll be able to flip for the possible Cinccino and go from there. Hitting the 300 damage number is a little risky, but it shouldn't be too difficult to do. And we can always attach the Legacy Energy as well to not give up a prize and come in with something else for the KO later. We'll see. Obviously, if we can get into the Jamming Tower, that also would be super ideal. And like I said, we have relatively good odds. We'll see what they choose to do. So they go just for the attack onto the Lugia. We'll get like 2 cards off the Gift Energy. Cool. We get the Research, which is pretty much the exact same thing, but as the Carmine we already had, but it does make our lives a little bit easier. We could drop the energy, go Ogerpon, or like go Wellspring here, but I'm just gonna go. Let's flip really quick, because this could make a difference. All right, we get the heads. We'll grab ourselves the Cinccino, but let's look through our deck momentarily. We do have Jamming Tower and some energy left in our deck. So we can go Cinccino here. We can attach the Legacy. We can Prime Turbo with the main purpose. Throw that. The main purpose of going for the Prime Turbos here is really just to remove cards from our deck as much as possible to make it easier to find the jamming tower that we know is already in there. And then from here, we can drop the research. And there's the jamming tower. So we can drop jamming tower and get the last KO. And that's why jamming tower is so good. So we'll take the last 2 prize cards, making it look easy against Raging Bolt. Though that being said, their build was like a little bit weird. Like, I understand the gutsy pickaxes on paper, but I don't really agree with it. And same thing for the rescue board. Like, I understand it on paper, but I don't think it's optimal to do. But yeah, that's going to be game number 2, and we'll jump into game number 3 in a second. I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 3. We're going to be going first. We open Wellspring, which is obviously not ideal, but we can kind of potentially make it work. And depending on matchup, having Wellspring out is like totally fine. It is potentially Raging Bolt again, but I'm honestly not sure. We get the tails. We'll grab ourselves the Lugia for now. We'll go Lugia, attach the Gift Energy. That's fine. And then we'll pass our turn. We can always Iono on our next turn and look for some pieces, if we have to. Oh, it's stall. Okay, that's actually not bad. Since if we can get Archeops out, we're kind of in a great spot, since we'll be able to do, so they'll get rid of the Ultra Ball here, but like we don't really care. If we can get the Archeops out, we can literally just loop energy onto whatever we want and like make sure we're always getting attacks off, so we don't really care that much. But also what we'll be able to do is we can just kind of sit back behind a Cinccino for whatever else we want, like pretty much the whole game. So I'm gonna throw Gift Energy down here and pass. Well, the next turn we can just research. Because if we can knock out the cornerstone, we're pretty much fine. At any point we draw into our Legacy Energy too, we can just attack and switch. But really, we're just looking to get a Cinccino powered up. Even if we just have to do it like by hand, it's totally fine. There's another Snorlax. This game might take a while, but it shouldn't be too hard. There's the Arven. I was wondering if Wellspring was weak to grass or water. It is weak to grass. So what's our play gonna be? We could research, which is what we'll probably do. Like, we can attach Mist, go research. That'll get one Archeops in the discard pile. They have Minccino. The main issue here is, like, we don't actually really want to go Archeops, since the main issue there is, like, it is a boss target that will never actually be able to get, like, the KOs we want. So I think we're just gonna go research here. I would love to get the Minccino. So there's Tails. We do get the Minccino. And then from here, what I can do is just go double turbo. And we'll go ahead and just, like, hit the Sob for a little bit of damage. But it's not really that important. Pretty much what the strategy is going to be here is that I can kind of just sit behind... Ooh, okay, that's actually kind of nice, the Radiant Serena. Just filling up bench space for them. Pretty much what I can do is I can just sit here, power up my Cinccino, bring it in, and at any point that I'm, like, actually stuck, I can evolve Lugia and pull out a, like, an Archeops. That's totally fine because I can Aqua Return and reshuffle it. And then if I have the Jet Energies in hand, I, like, can't really be trapped. And then I just keep Jamming Tower in hand. So Erica's Invitation fails. And then I just keep Jamming Tower in hand to remove the tempo of Sinnoh when it comes up. There's the accompanying flute again. It fails. Really, the main thing, the main key now is just to make sure I'm removing the main key now is just making sure that I'm removing all the extra, like, random basics from my deck. So we can go Cinccino here. We can use one Jet Energy. Bring this into the active. We're not really at threat of this thing actually being able to attack us at any point. So we can just start putting attacks down. And we have the Legacy Energy, so we can also attach that at any point. We still two-shot this. There's the accompanying flute. Yeah, so if we get into Lugia V-STAR, we could even just pull out one Archeops, which would allow us to recycle these if we want. So this matchup's, like, not even that bad for us. We're going to be able to knock this out, which, yes, will turn on the... Where's the boss? So we could attach Gift Energy here. We're doing 190. We could boss up the Rotom. But what I actually want to do is I want to go special roll here, knock this out. Take the 2 prizes. There's the Ultra Ball and the Capturing Aroma. And so I can one-shot any of these Snorlaxes now at this point. They're going to start dropping counter catchers, but that's fine. Like, we have the Jet Energy. To bring Cinccino back in. But what I can also do is just make an Archeops here. I can attach the Legacy Energy and just attack and reshuffle Lumineon into the deck. Well, won't be able to do that. That play was an option. They hit me with the Eerie, so it's no longer. But it's still not that big a deal. If we draw into any energy, what we'll probably end up doing is that we can boss up the Rotom, attach to the Lumineon, retreat out, bring back in Cinccino, and hold the Jet Energy in our hand for the next time that we need to use it. We get a Great Ball. I could... We'll grab the Lugia V-STAR and evolve that for now. Because I could grab the one Archeops and just remove this off the board, but for right now it's not as important. So I'm going to go ahead and boss, pull up the Rotom. I'm going to Jet Energy the Cinccino into the active. We'll special roll. Knocking this out, grabbing ourselves 2 more prizes. There's the other Archeops and also the Jacq. The main thing here is that, like, we can snipe out the Mimikyu as one of our other prizes at any point. With Wellspring, since I already have the Legacy Energy in hand. There's the Iono, which will put me to 2. So I lose out on the Legacy Energy here, but again, it doesn't really matter. We lose out on a good deal of item cards, but that's fine. Pretty much what our play is going to be here is that we can go Lugia here, grab ourselves our Archeops, attach the double colorless to Lumineon, manually attach the Legacy Energy, shuffle everything back into the deck, and then bring Cinccino back in, and then just keep kind of forcing them to have Counter Catcher like every turn. So we can Summoning Star. We will Prime Turbo. We can grab ourselves the double Turbo Energy, attaching it to our Lumineon. We can go Legacy Energy and Aqua Return, which won't do a lot of damage, but it does put everything back into the deck, and it allows us to bring Cinccino back in. They have to use their supporter for the turn to pick Penny back, or to use Penny. There's the Hero's Cape, which is not enough to survive Cinccino, so if they do not have a special energy, or if they don't have another counter catcher, which they are able to get, but in this instance it's fine. They've already had to use 3, so that means they only have 1 left available to them. And what we can do is we can even Prime Turbo here to the Archeops. And start attacking. And I want to leave it like this because what might happen here is that, so I 2-shot the Snorlax. right? If the cape isn't active, but they may not know that, or like they may not know that I have Jamming Tower. So they could pick it up, right? Like they could use Penny to pick it up, but what we're trying to bait out is the fact that they won't do it because they think they're completely safe. So they choose to do it anyway, which is still fine for us. There's the panel pad for 2 pennies back. And the hero's cape. But like at this rate, they're not benefiting. So like it's still fine for us to just kind of keep sitting here and using wing speed, forcing them to have to get the pennies. The elegant heal isn't going to be enough. There's counter catcher. They bring in the Wellspring, and that's actually huge for us. Because Wellspring is something I can shuffle, and I can use Archeops to bring it back. I'm kind of... So, the main thing is, like, they did that because they didn't get into the penny they were looking for. But because of that, that means that I can close out the game. Because I can Prime Turbo, grab the Legacy Energy, and we'll grab the Mist Energy. We can throw them onto our Wellspring. Drop the Jamming Tower down. Go ahead and attack with Torrential Pump. We would like to shuffle it into the deck. And do 120 damage. We'll do it to the Sandshrew, taking both knockouts and closing out the game. Which is why our stall matchup is not that bad and is actually kind of nice. So we grab the Iron Hands. Wellspring is so good. I think one of the biggest benefits to Lugia is that it's just so versatile. Like, it has so many options because of the fact that you get to just spam Legacy Energy on whatever you want. And so many of your cards have an option or way to, like, shuffle them back. So even in the stall matchup, kind of like you saw, like, yes, it's a slow played out game, but as long as we don't overextend our board, we're completely fine. Like, Lumineon gets there, who cares? We shuffle it back, right? Had that been Ursaluna, it doesn't really matter. We can grab some Archeops. Like, we're able to power up everything and make it, like, good. We can kind of make sure our board state is always good, which is super beneficial for us. Obviously, it was nice that we were able to take 2 prize cards so quickly against the Wellspring or the Cornerstone, but like having Wellspring to snipe and reshuffle and stuff like that is going to make it so it's very hard to deck us out as well, since we can always make sure we're kind of reshuffling more often than not. But yeah, that's going to be game 3. We'll do one more, hopefully a quick one, because of game 1 being kind of a non-starter. But yeah, we'll jump into game 4 in a second, and I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 4, and we're going to be going first. We are going to mulligan this hand away. I think one of the biggest things that holds Lugia back is its opening consistency. Like, you can make it work most of the time, but I feel like there's like a 20% chance that your deck just doesn't work sometimes. So, like, this isn't the worst thing to happen, but again, like, this hand is not very good. So we'll place one Lugia down for now. We'll kind of see what we're up against before we place the second. We're up against Regidrago. That's not that bad of a matchup for us. We do get the Lugia V-STAR, though that's not really relevant right now. We'll just go Gift Energy and place the other Lugia, just so that way we get some cards off of it if they get like a super cracked turn and end up KOing us. But realistically, we're probably gonna like discard the Jet Energy and just ride the wind or read the wind. There's the Fire Energy. They have another Ogerpon with the Energy Switch. Restart for 3. Into the Professor's Research. Huge restart. We're going to need a research of our own if we're going to be able to get into this game. We get the, or they get the double grass, so they're going to be able to Teal Mask. I would say the only big mistake they're making right now is going double, or going like 2 Regidrago Vs on the bench. Like, I would keep this to 1, so that way you can get 1 more Teal Mask and make sure like you're always kind of powering up and drawing. Pretty big discard for us. The Mist Energy, not optimal at all. So what we'll do from here is we'll place the Mist Energy down. But mostly that's just so we can attach the double turbo on the next turn, evolve into Lugia, and kind of get something going for ourselves. For right here, we'll read the wind, and we're going to get rid of the Iron Hands, since more than likely than not, it's not really going to come up. Wow, none of this is very good. We can go Minccino. Yeah, what we're probably going to do here... Well, let's see if we live. It really depends on what they discard, because they're going to go Legacy Star. Okay, that's not that bad for us. They could go Raging Bolt, but then they'd have to discard all the energies and have to kind of restart, which is really frustrating to do. Like, this is definitely like your later game card. And if they go Noivern, we're really not that worried about it either. Oh, they play Scoop Up Cyclone. I kind of disagree with that. I don't think that's the play to make. They do have the energy switch though, so they're going to be able to get an attack off this turn. Did they get rid of anything else that I missed? No. Oh, well they do have the Giratina for the Shred, so they can do 160 if they want. They restart for 1 more. I'm not sure what they would go for. Like, they could go Raging Bolt and get the KO for sure. But I feel like it would cost them a lot that it like wouldn't really be worth it. Unfortunately, our supporter is Iono, and that's gonna... it's not that bad. If they KO me, it's not that bad. If they do, then... Or if they don't, then it's a little bit worse. They go 140. What was that, Shred? No. Oh, so I can't play any special energy from my hand. That's not really that relevant, though. I'm gonna just evolve into the bench. I'm gonna go Iono, reshuffle everything. I can go ahead and Capturing Aroma. We do get the heads, which means I will get 1 Archeops, and I can read the wind, allowing me to discard it. I get a couple cards. Not great though. My whole hand this game has been really not great. There's the boss's orders. They're gonna pull up the Minccino. I assume they'll go Goodra on this next attack. If I had to guess, just to make it harder for me to KO them after. But I was never going to be able to one-shot them regardless. They go 140, so I still can't use special energy, but again, it's not really that important to me. We'll go... This will go Lugia V-STAR here, since it can survive any one in particular hit. We'll go Minccino. We'll boss the no energy Regidrago. And I think at this point I might just have to Summoning Star Archeops. Because I'm too far behind. Like, I can't keep taking turns, so I think I have to do it like this. And then we Prime Turbo here for 2 double turbo. Just so I can start getting damage down. And could I have bossed up the Mew EX there for some prize cards? The answer is yes. Did I want to do that? No. And the main reason for that is I don't know if they play Switch or not. And they're down to the last 6 cards in their deck. So if I KO'd this, they just bring in the Regidrago V-STAR and knock me out. I'd rather them have to dig through their deck and get closer to decking out, since I can stall them out with playing single prizers and like Legacy Energy and things like that. And they don't have the energy transfers, or the energy switches, rather, is what it's called. Yeah, so like their switch is already in the discard pile. So like they're actually trapped here, and it may be beneficial for me to literally do nothing. So all I'm going to do at this point is just start powering up and getting my Cinccino set up. And like doing literally nothing else. Because they might genuinely not have a way to actually do anything. So I can just pass my turn, because they're... Let's assume they play one switch, right? So they can't do that. Then if I were to... So there's the Iono, so that will keep them from decking out. But they've already played 3 energy switches. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 energy already attached. Yeah, there's no energy left in their deck, so there's nothing they can do. We just pass our turn and we win. They don't even have any energy left in their deck either, because like it's all actively attached to all their mons, which is like, this is why I wanted to pull this up. So they can energy switch 1. Restart. Yep. So the game's over. So at this point, we just pass our turns. We just don't want to KO this. And their super scoop up is already in the discard pile. So like, pretty much the best thing that we can do at this point is just start powering up the 2 Cinccinos. So even if they do find a way to switch and they bring in like Regidrago V-STAR, we're able to just KO it whenever we want to. So we can evolve here. We'll Prime Turbo. Grab ourselves 1 of each. Dupe. Dupe. and pass our turn. And they're out of energy switches. Even if they evolve into their V-Star, it doesn't matter. So that's going to be the game. So this is like, this is something that I want to make a point of, and I hope, yeah, I know that not everybody makes it to the Game 4 scenarios, but for anyone who does, this is a great, like, learning moment, is that one of the benefits here is, like, just kind of understanding your opponent's deck. So, like, this is a deck I've played before. Granted, their list is a little bit different than mine, but it's kind of just being aware of, like, what our opponent is playing and what they can do. And so them using the switch before is, you know, great for it, or discarding it rather, or like losing it, was obviously great for us. We can assume that most decks are only playing 1, maybe 2. So that's out. They do play a different support or a spec than I normally play, which is the, like, Prime Catcher. Or not even the Prime Catcher, like the Secret or Secret Box. Both of which are, like, fine. But neither of those, like, we already saw that they got rid of their Super Scoop Up. So it's like they got rid of all the resources they need in order to be effective. And they attached all their energy. Like, they overcommitted way too early. So since they committed with all their energy, like, I knew that bossing up the Regidrago was going to be much more efficient. And kind of like for lack of better terms, like the right choice to make. It's why I talked about before that, yes, could I do the damage and have knocked out the Mew? It's like, sure, but that doesn't actually get me anywhere that I'd want to be over, you know, just being able to trap that in the active. So I hope that makes sense. Just kind of as like a rule of thumb, like be able to kind of check what your opponent's already used to kind of help influence your decision making, because they may have made a mistake they don't even realize they made yet. But yeah, that's going to be game number 4. I will see you guys all in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. It really helps out the channel, and we've been growing really quickly. Be sure to check out the community Discord down below, and also be sure to check out the community Discord tournament coming up on Saturday at 6:30 p.m. EST. If anybody is interested, it's completely free to enter, and there will be prizes. So if you're interested in that, be sure to check out the community Discord tournament down in the description as well. And yeah, I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace.